Hey, what's going on, guys? Nico here. Today we're going to be talking about what you eat. Straight off the bat, the food you eat, the food you put in your body, you become that. You are what you eat. That old saying, that is true because everything we eat goes into creating new cells within our body. So if we have poor quality food, we're going to have poor quality cells. Same thing if it's high quality. So make sure you have organically farmed food. The reason why is low in toxins. I've been talking about this for the past 2 days. Herbicides, pesticides will destroy your gut. Get rid of those toxins by organic farming. Higher in nutrients than the genetically modified foods. This is because they're not changing the chemical composition of the food. They are just growing it. And then lastly, healthy planet. It's going to increase the health of our planet if we take out those herbicides and pesticides and chemicals that are sprayed onto our crops. Now, water. If you're going to drink water, do not count coffee, do not count juice, no teas or no sodas. That is not water. You need high quality filtered or bottled water, and you need at least half your body weight in ounces. Just make sure getting that water in, that helps with the digestion, it helps with that whole process, so you need to make sure you're getting that water. Organic fruits and veggies. Always wash your food before you eat it. That's something that's a general consensus out there. Make sure you wash your food before you eat it. Make sure you get a variety in there. You don't want to be eating the same thing over and over again. Get yourself a variety of fruits and vegetables. And then lastly, make sure you eat a lot of raw fruits and vegetables. Now, if your body can tolerate it. If not, by all means, cook it. But the more raw it is, the closer it is to where it came out of the ground, the better it will be. It'll have all the nutrients there, and you won't kill or get rid of or expel any of the nutrients by cooking it. So raw, if possible. Grains. The first thing you need to think about with grains, do you have a gluten intolerance? If so, you are now minimized to the amount of grains that you can partake in because it will flare up your intolerance, your gluten intolerance, your gluten allergy. So make sure if you have an intolerance, an allergy, any of those things, you are paying heavy attention to the grains. Make sure it's organic. Make sure it's sprouted. Quality is key. Quality over quantity. Alcohol, another no-brainer. Moderation. Moderation is key, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure if you're going to drink alcohol, it's organic, and make sure you have fats and proteins with your alcohol. That allows our body to better use the carbohydrates that is in the alcohol, and it should make us feel less worse than what we would be if we had a nice little glass on our stomach. Dairy products. 2 dairy products I'm shooting for. Boom. Sheep and goat's dairy or milk, whether that be milk or cheese. If you're going to drink or eat any sort of dairy, organic and raw. The reason I say raw is because the pasteurization and the homogenization of that process of doing that to the dairy destroys a key element that helps our body, even people with lactose intolerance, digest the lactose in the dairy. So a lot of you who are lactose intolerant may be able to drink and partake in raw dairy. I would try it. Definitely try it if I were you. Animals. Organic and grass-fed. There's 2 big reasons behind the grass-fed. What even is grass-fed? Grass-fed meat means that they ate grass their entire life. And with that, that means less stress on the body from eating things that an animal wouldn't eat, as well as it changes the composition of the meat. It gives it a better ratio of omega-3 fatty acids to omega-6 fatty acids. So both of those are essential fatty acids that we absolutely need in our body. I'll get into that in a minute. So that is why we need grass-fed. And of course, organic, because it'll minimize all the hormones and the bad things done to it. Make sure you're paying attention to how it's processed, how it's packaged. make sure you're minimally as processed as possible. Make sure the packaging is good as well. Seafood. There is huge things that go along with seafood. Caution for heavy metals. This is one of the key components of heavy metal toxicity in our day and age, other than the tap water, is fish, seafood. They have one of the highest rated heavy metal components to our heavy metal issues out of all the other foods. So make sure you're looking out for heavy metals. Pesticides. When it rains, the pesticides run off into the water supply, so watch out for pesticides as well. And then farmed. Never get farmed seafood. Always get wild caught seafood. They have to dye salmon's meat to make it that pink color when it should already be that pink color. So they are killing those fish before they're even killed. Make sure you do not do farmed fish. Fats. Like I talked about earlier, the two essential fatty acids. We got omega-6s and omega-3s. Omega-6 fatty acids are more of the chicken, the beef, the steaks. That's where most of you'll get most of your omega-6 fatty acids. And for the omega-3s, you got the seafood, you have the nuts, and all of those things as well. So omega-6s and omega-3s, essential to live. So we need to get both of those. You need to make sure you avoid trans fatty acids and hydrogenated fatty acids. Those will clog up your arteries. You will not have a fun time with that. You can have saturated fat if it's high quality. The crazy thing about fats are, if it's a poor quality fat, it will have the chemical and the genetic structure of plastic, more like plastic than actual food. So quality is important, especially in the fats department. Moving on to sugar. Avoid refined white sugar. I mean, I don't have to tell you that. That's a pretty obvious one as well. That is one of the worst things you can put in your body. Now, with that said, some alternatives could be honey. It could be stevia, and it could be fruits or sweet fruits like dates or apples. Those are really good alternatives to regular refined table sugar. Salts. Again, avoid the refined salts. Those two things are one of the worst things you can have in your food. If you want to do salts, make sure it's pure, unpressed sea salt. For me personally, Himalayan pink sea salt all day long. I love Himalayan pink sea salt. Make sure what you're getting is quality. Some general words of caution for you. Watch out for processed foods. They can process food so much that it becomes a non-food. What is a non-food? A non-food is an article of food that has been processed to the point where its nutritional value is next to none. So you're not getting any nutrition out of it, and you're actually taking a lot of energy to process and filter and detox that food. So really keep your eyes out for processed food. Again, preservatives and additives, as minimal of those as possible. Genetically modified foods, just like the Harry Potter book reference. Remember, you got the whole Harry Potter book in its entirety, but only 10 pages have words out of the entire book, and those words don't even have a full story on it. So you're not going to be able to process it efficiently, and it is not as nutrient dense as the organic food. And irradiated foods. This can be done by a plethora of different ways, whether it be using a microwave oven or things along that nature. So watch out for irradiated foods. And what we can do to store and package food. So fresh is always best, like I said. If you can go get it fresh every single day, by all means get it fresh every single day. But if you're going to store some of that food, make sure it's in either glass or ceramic storage. Plastics will leak into the food that you put into it. So make sure keep plastics to a minimum, if not any at all. And if you're cooking, again, glassware, cast iron, stainless steel, stuff along those lines. Again, don't be putting plastics anywhere. Don't be doing anything like that. Me personally, I love the cast iron because it increases my iron intake from using it. So that is my personal favorite. That is all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening and learning something new and looking at my beautiful drawings that I had made for you guys especially. If you enjoyed it or you got any good information from it, share it with your friends and family. Again, my whole mission is to inform you guys about what's really going on in our bodies and with our health and how we can take it back, take ownership to become the best version of ourselves. And of course, leave a like, leave a love if you're on Facebook. And if you have any questions about what you eat or any of the topics that I had went over on today's talk, leave it in the comments below. I mean, it's right there. You might as well do it. So that is all I got for you guys. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one.